三称佛号。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。Please be seated. Have you all done your sitting? Yes. Okay. Good evening, brothers and sisters. How are y'all today? Good? Oh, very good. So, we are going at a steady pace on page 6 now. Okay, so last week we do a recap, and then we are now on the second chapter on mental concomitants. We went through the first two traits, the first two traits of this category of mental processes, if you will, to establish why is it called a mental concomitant? Why is it called belonging to the mind? After all mind, right? All these are part of mind, but why call it belonging to mind? So offline, there's this chat group where students would pose questions and have discussion, and there was a lot of concern. There are a lot of concerns about whether it is one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-one or many-to-many. As far as the mind is concerned with the mental concomitants. Now, admittedly, this term is not something we use it on a daily basis. We don't just sporadically just say something like, that day, wow, I felt so excited, and concomitant to my excitement, we don't. Some terms are just not so common, okay? But so admittedly, this is not a common term. So instead of being affixed or stuck with it, try to understand that we might as well just call it X, okay? Because it's just a label. And this is half the point about this school of thought. That labels is just for some function. Don't get caught up with the labels. Okay? Sometimes I wonder, in this school, Yogacara school, there's so much labels. Maybe the point about having so much labels is to drive across the point. It's just labels. It's really just labels. But the labels have some function as well. Okay? We can maybe, and let it rotate. Maybe phase it, because the screen usually don't need cooling. Very good. Okay. But maybe angle it upwards so that people in front, they are in business class. So, okay, good. How come you will turn down? Okay, okay lah. Something like that. So, are we good with this? Yeah? That don't get so caught up with concomitant. Then, the 5 guys or 5 girls up here all panic. Yeah, just replace it with X, Y, or Z, whatever. Just know that there's this group of mental processes, part of the mind. Yeah? And it is separate, somewhat separate. Yeah, different from the first chapter. The first chapter, we cover the 8 consciousness. Eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind consciousness. Then mind as consciousness itself. And then storage consciousness. Yeah, that this 8 collectively is known as, yes, hello? Yes, there are a lot of seats here. Yeah. Very well. Take a seat. Yes. Are you comfortable with being at the emergency exit? Yeah. You know how it's like, right? When you take a plane and you are on an emergency exit row, and then they'll tell you, like, are you comfortable with being on this side? During emergency, you are required to open the door and assist. Anyway, so I want to just do a quick recap of the first 2 qualities and then move on down to the third. Yeah, but before I do that, we must know what this 3 is about. What this 3 is to establish its name. Why call it this name? Yeah, literally, that this class, this category of mental processes is called belonging to the heart. Yeah, 心所. Yeah, 心所拥有. Yeah, this whole category, they all belong to the heart. They are subject to the heart. Belong, I think, is more direct. Yeah, it basically belongs to the heart. But in what way does it belong to the heart? This 3 paragraph here is explaining that. Understand? Okay. In this context, when we look at the explanation, it may help us. So the first one, 恒一兴起. This is a recap, okay? So I will just go briefly. That it perpetually or always arise dependent on the heart. Yeah. Since it cannot arise by itself and always depend on the heart to arise, so we say it belongs to the heart. For this is the first reason. Okay? First reason why you call it belonging to the heart. Or what typical translation is mental concomitant. Second, 与性相应. That is connected to the heart. Yeah? Resonate. Connected. Yeah, the heart goes in a certain direction. Whatever arises together is aligned, is in line with it. Yeah. If the mind, let me see. So, if your mind, for example, now you are listening to the teachings. Yeah. Whatever mental processes that arise is linked to whatever is you are listening to now. Okay? Now, you may think, but Sifu, sometimes you are talking about Yogacara, I'm thinking about work. Yeah? Now, you thinking about work, that is the Xing Wang. Yeah, so when your mind itself is focused on the work, then whatever that arises concomitant to that content, yeah, then it's related to that. It's connected to that. Not connected to whatever I'm teaching now. You see the relation? So on that basis, the mental concomitant, yeah, that which belongs to the mind, yeah, always arise dependent, and then always is connected and resonate with the first 8 consciousness. Understand? Yeah. It is on this basis, these three names, these three reasonings, that we say this category of mental processes is called mental concomitants, or belonging to the mind, or heart, if you will. Okay? Yeah. So, the third one, have we gone through it? No, huh? 系属于心. So, finally, very conclusively say, belonging to the heart. So, last week, there was a, let me see, okay. So last week there was a interesting point. So there was a slight curiosity about these three terms, 心意识. So I gave you all the English and then the Pali Sanskrit term. So, Sing, heart, chitta. Yi, mind, mana. Shi, consciousness, vijnana. Yeah? So, unlike what many people think, actually, in the standard Buddhist text, many of the translators commonly use these three English words to denote 心意识. So it is not what some of us may have heard. Oh, that English terms, only one or two, not so rich and comprehensive. Again, agreeably that these terms are really borrowed from the English vocabulary. When the English language developed, it went through a very different development process compared to the Chinese language. A lot of the so-called Buddhist terms were specifically coined in, because of the influx of Buddhist teaching. So, agreeably that these two languages, they are foreign to Buddhism. Okay, Buddhism is foreign to these two languages. But because Buddhism was introduced very early on, so a lot of terms were coined in, and the way we use it is shaped very deeply by the Buddhist meaning. By the Buddhist meaning. Huh? Pali. Wait, hang on. You must raise your hand. Then I. Otherwise, become a private tuition here. Okay, hang on. So, I must apply equally to everybody. Otherwise, some of you all raise. Then I say, wait. Then this one just. Okay, hang on. So, with this in mind, you notice that I often refer to the sing quite loosely, sometimes mind, sometimes heart. But that's not to suggest that I'm ignoring this relation as well. I've shared with you all the relationship between the three, that the overarching name is heart, chitta. But specific to each function, when the mental process function in the discerning, thinking, discriminating way, then we specifically give it a name called mana. Mana. I'm not sure how closely linked is it to mana wane kwan dai si. Okay. Very corny. You haven't seen the most corniest of me yet. So, when there's mental processes, where there is awareness, there's knowing, then we call it consciousness. All right. So, in some cases, in particular for this commentary, we need to be very precise about which term you will use. Yeah, but in some cases you notice that I just loosely mind heart. Yeah, so don't go into it and then spend 3 days 3 nights sleepless and then why did Sifu, use that? Yeah, okay. Let me preempt you. Okay, I will use them loosely. Yeah, unless that part is specific on certain areas. Yeah, then I will be precise about it. Okay, understand? Oh, yeah. Because if you want to be very precise, then over here I must always say belong to the heart, belong to the heart. Yeah. The thing is, as much as in the Buddhist text, Buddhist teaching, we have adopted these 3 as the corresponding term for the Pali Chitta, Mana, Vijnana. Okay, we have more or less adopted in this way. Yeah, but in our day-to-day, what do I call it? In our day-to-day speech, yeah, just now I mentioned about concomitant, not so common. How about consciousness? Is it very common? Usually when we talk about consciousness is when someone has fainted. Isn't it? Yeah? We say, is the person conscious or not? Yeah? Yeah. So we seldom use it the way we are using it in Buddhism. But the meaning is actually the same. Yeah? To be conscious. Yeah? Whether you are conscious in terms of visible form, yeah, audible sound, and so on. Yeah? When there is such an interaction that brings about that awareness, that wakefulness. When we say we are conscious, it means you know. Yeah? But knowing to different degrees, then we call it different name. When you know it to the degree where you can differentiate, then you call it mind consciousness. If it's only about the knowing to the point where you know that there's sound or no sound, we call that ear consciousness. Understand? So, 系属于心, yeah, belonging to the heart. Belonging to the heart. Yeah. In our day-to-day usage, mind and heart sometimes loosely used. Yeah. But many times when we use the word heart, we are referring to emotions. Yeah, oftentimes. Yeah. Or I would even go out on a limb to say, many times when we use heart, then it's about conscience. Yeah. Can you bear in your heart to say, how can you say this? Yeah. So the English word heart has its own connotation in this day and age. Yeah. So we need to understand the framing. And because of that, unless the specific usage is important, I will just use loosely mind and heart. Okay? Are we okay, comfortable with that? So keep this in mind, okay? In case when you listen to the recording and then you get confused. 心所不自在，随从于心王升起。心王是他的主导，因而成为心所。So this category we call X, that we call mental concomitant, as belonging to the heart. It doesn't have autonomy. Yeah, it doesn't have autonomy. Yeah, it cannot just suka want to appear. It's not independent. In other words, yeah, it's not independent. One could argue and say, but the first 8 consciousness is also not independent, strictly speaking. Yeah, the first 8 consciousness depend on conditions for it to arise. Yeah, so strictly speaking, no one is independent. We are all interdependent. Yeah, but here it says there's a further level of dependency. Okay, all things being equal, everything is interdependent, isn't it? In Buddhism, yeah. But some things are more interdependent than others. Animal farm. So, this category is even more, yeah, even more not independent. Okay, in what way? 随从于心王升起. Yeah, it follows the direction of the heart. Yeah, in this case, the first aid consciousness. Yeah, Xing Wang. Yeah, King Heart. Yeah, mastermind or master heart. Yeah, according to the consciousness that arise, that is the dominant force, if you will. Okay. 心王是它的主导 Yeah, the first aid consciousness, yeah, they play the guiding force. Yeah, they determine what is the direction. Yeah, again, coming back to the example I gave earlier, if your mind navigates towards certain area, certain direction, yeah, then in that area, all the subsequent mental factors, mental processes that arise will follow. Yeah, it cannot be that you are thinking about let's say loving kindness. You are thinking about Buddha's teaching. Then somehow the mind go and think about something else. Yeah, or the subsequent factors that arise is opposing. Yeah, doesn't go that way. Yeah, what usually happen is there's a disconnect, and then our mind or our heart, if you will, yeah, become drawn towards something else. Okay, become drawn towards something else. Then we latch onto it. We go and discriminate on that. Then subsequent mental factors, mental processes that arises will follow that. So it's not that you think about A, yeah, the consciousness latches onto A, and then somehow B arise. Doesn't go that way. Okay? It has the heart king as its main guide. Yeah, main guide. 因而称为心所, and is hence termed as belonging to the heart. Belonging to the heart. Okay? This is the beauty and bane of commentaries. Beauty because they don't require you to just accept it. They explain thoroughly why, even the name. Yeah, you don't just suka give it a name. Yeah, but it gives you very precise explanation of why it's called this. Yeah, in almost all the commentaries you find this format. First, they will say, they will usually quote the Buddha about certain verses. Then they will say, okay, in her something. What is this? Then they will say, okay, 略有三种. In brief, there are three. Yeah, or in this case, 略有五位. Yeah, in brief, there are 5 chapters. There are 5 categories. Firstly, heart. Secondly, belonging to the heart, and so on. Then after that, go further. Why is it called heart? Yeah, so we are going through this whole process. Yeah. Sometimes you need to navigate through all the texts to have some idea. Otherwise, you can get lost. Okay. So far, so good. Anybody with any question? Yeah, because the rest of this chapter, there's a lot of terms inside, and all these terms are of this category. That means all these subsequent terms that come, they all is to be known as belonging to the heart. Understand? わかりますか? 了解ですか? Yes. Yeah, usually and it's true, we may observe this, not just during meditation. Yeah, sometimes in our day-to-day interaction with others, we may find that suddenly our mind seems to just go in opposite direction. But you have to take my word for it now. But go and observe closer and closer, then you will realize that what we are observing, what we observe is this. I'm observing my breath, then suddenly by breath war. That's what the example you gave, right? Yeah, so here, observe breath. Yeah, observe breathing. Then suddenly, boop, hey, buy bread. How did this happen? Yeah, if you are to observe closer and closer, you realize that, oh, here observe breath. Yeah, observe breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Then you observe, pain, very painful. But there's not so much clarity. So there's pain, back ache, then knee ache, stomach, stomach quite hungry. Then, but what to do? Cannot eat dinner before meditation. Then, maybe I'll have some bread, but no more bread. Buy bread. This is how our mind works, But because we only see the slices that is impactful, so we don't see the in between. Then it seems like our mind is very random, all over the place. But in most cases, sometimes it is not a complete sequence. Sometimes it's that halfway through there's an interruption. You hear a cough, and as much as we seem to think that or observe that I'm focusing, we are already interrupted by the cough. And then from the cough, you may have a bit of frustration. Then you think about your colleague who is always coughing in your office. Then you think, is it an H1N1 or whatever? And next thing you know, you think about 3M. Then 3M think about the monitor. Then all over the place. So in between, from the last moment we are very aware up to the next point where we are more aware, oftentimes it's either a continuous train of thought that just vacillate all over the place, or there may be one or more interruptions in between. And that's why the practice is about, when you hear any sound, immediately note it, hearing, so that you don't get drawn along without that awareness. So try, okay? Very good, thank you. So, ready? Okay, live. Okay, yes. Yes. Still going into an example. Can it be a what? Okay, first of all, there are many ways to skin a cat. Okay, but then again, we don't skin cat, okay? The point is that there are many ways to express a concept or a principle. Using the conductor as an example of Sing Wang, and then the Sing Suo, whatever music that arises, the musicians. You can do that. You can do that. Yeah, you can understand in this way. Yeah, so all the members of the symphony orchestra or the orchestra would focus, and take the baton and follow the baton. And then he will follow. They will all follow his guide. Yeah. One could understand it that way. Yeah, one could understand it this way. But so it's okay. But to reference to the series of questions that came out in the WhatsApp chat group, there's a point that this three is trying to get at. Important thing is to get that and not go into all the possible permutation. No, but yeah. So it's okay to use the example. Yeah, but don't go too deep into to have too much into the example, because this is just to establish why call it belonging to the mind or to the heart. That's all. That's the important point. Yeah. The first 8 consciousness. Yeah. Yeah, the first 8. Eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, consciousness, and mind, and yeah. Actually, I never specifically use the term one to many, many to many, or whatever. Yeah. Because there's 8 consciousness to begin with. So it's not so much one to many to begin with. But collectively, they are all together under this category called Xing Wang. Yeah. So you can consider that they are all the king. And then the rest are all subjects. In fact, there's a reason why they use Xing Wang. Because in those days, there's monarch, easier for them to understand. And the king rules. Yeah. So the mental concomitants are the subjects, subject to the rule of the king. Yeah. Simply that. Yeah. But when you go into when you look at these three explanation, and then you try to ascertain, is it one-to-one? Then you are going a bit too deep into the relation that is not so crucial to the name. Yeah, not so crucial to the name anymore. Yeah, yes. No, wait. The Xing Wang is what? No, Xing Wang is referring to the first. Just now, Lily just mentioned the first 8 consciousness. That one is Xing Wang. And then your question?
So when we say about, we normally say somebody is very much governed by emotion, every time acting out of emotion, Is he saying that this person is led by?
Yeah, so her question is, when a person is more emotional, do we then say that the person is more led by the heart? As I mentioned earlier, the term heart, mind, in our everyday conversation is used in a very different way from how we are defining it here. The term heart here is not limited to emotions. Not limited to emotions. So we need to sort of like switch a bit now. Yeah, switch a bit. Yeah. Later on, you'll find that within these mental concomitants are defined the different emotional states. The emotional states are defined inside. The Xing Suo Fa. Yeah, there are wholesome and unwholesome ones. So, shall we? Okay. And again, don't worry too much about one to many, many to one, and so on. Okay, so in terms of mental concomitant Xing Suo Fa, there are 6 categories, altogether 51 Xing Suo, 51 mental concomitants. Yeah. So let me just list out the 6 here. And then I want to refer you all to one of the earlier texts which I got for you all. Okay. So this category separated into 6 subcategory, 片行五. So there are 5 under the first subcategory. Yeah, 片行, then 别境, 善识, 善, then 根本烦恼, then 随烦恼, then 不定. Yeah, so let me just circle it out. So there's 片行, then 别境, then 善. No, just follow me first, okay? Then 根本烦恼, then 随烦恼, then 不定. Yeah, why am I putting out the bracket here? I'm putting out the bracket here because of the fact that is this clear? Is it too bright? Is it okay? Like that? Okay, roughly. But you have the text anyway. So I draw the bracket here. Yeah, because this is the actual name of this subcategory. Yeah, so all this is still under this chapter called Xing Suo. Okay? All these are mental concomitants. Understand? Yeah? Eye contact line. All these are mental concomitants. There are 6 subcategories. The first one is called 片行. Yeah, 片行. And there are 5 inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You all can go and count yourself, okay? Then 别境, again 5. 善, there's 11. Yeah? 根本烦恼, there's 6. 随烦恼, there's 20. Yeah? 不定, there's 4. Alright? Understand? Can you would find that earlier on I gave you all this text here. This one have the English translation already. So over here, the same thing. 5 universally active Dharma. Yeah, so you can just you copy this over first. Okay? Five universally active Dharma. And then 5 situation-specific Dharma. And 11 wholesome Dharma. And 6 primary vexation. I would use the word defilements, but vexation is also a common translation. Then followed by 20 derivative vexations. I would also use secondary. Yeah? Yeah, primary and then secondary vexation. Okay? And lastly, 4 indeterminate dharmas. For those of you who like tables, in the other handout, in the first lesson, I have this handout. Yeah. Then we have this table. Those of you who like tables, y'all can y'all can go crazy with this. Yeah. So it's referring to the same thing. Okay. So I hope we have enough supporting materials for you to learn. Yeah. Okay. So far so good. So under 片行, I'm going to just read through and then go on to the next page. So 处作意受想思, this is something that later we will go through. Yeah, this is a standard sequence. The moment you have contact, this is for this school. Okay, 处作意受想思. Yeah, there's this sequence where once you have contact, then subsequently the whole train of mental processes that come about. Okay. And 别境, 欲圣解念定慧. Yeah, 欲圣解念定慧. Then we have the wholesome. Yeah, wholesome, then followed by 2 categories of unwholesome. Okay, wholesome and then 2 categories of unwholesome. Yeah, 性惭愧无贪无嗔无痴精进清安不放逸行舍不害. Yeah, then 根本烦恼贪嗔痴慢疑恶见. Yeah, so these are 6. I will go through. Okay, don't worry. I'm just reading through. Then secondary. Yeah, so this is the primary, and then the secondary that arise due to the primary. Yeah, so for secondary defilements, there are again subcategorization. Xiao sui 烦恼 中随烦恼, 大随烦恼. Okay? So you must know when you read the Chinese text, 小随十, the name itself is not 小随十, yeah, is that 小随, there are 10. Okay? Yeah. So the category of small secondary defilements, there are 10. Okay? Understand? 小随十. Yeah, this is the way. This is what it means. Yeah, so there's 愤恨、烦恼，这个 then 奸狂毁害这个骄 yeah, then 忠无惭无愧 yeah, then 大随烦恼调举昏沉不幸懈怠 then 放逸思念散乱不正知 yeah, so these two together, okay, this whole set of categories together, this is what we can also call the san and xing suo. Okay, so these two together can be considered to be what we call unwholesomeness. Yeah, unwholesome. Akusala. Yeah, then this one is wholesome. So there's this joke. There's this joke about how, wow, there's so little wholesome and then so many unwholesome ones.
And also the 大随大, right? Does it mean that 昏沉散乱 all these are very major unwholesomeness?
Well,
I like to sleep. Sleepy is majorly unwholesome.
being sleepy and indulging in sleep is two different things.
Indulging in sleep.
Yeah. So if you indulge in sleep, is it a crime? No, it's not a crime. Yeah, police will not come out, knock on your door and say, hey, why are you so, you know? Yeah, but you must understand this, okay, this whole categorization is for those who want to be enlightened. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, later we will find out. All right. Yeah, the last one, 不定式. Yeah, so there are four which is indeterminate. Yeah, can be classified as this, can be classified as that. Yeah, not certain, not definite. Yeah, 贪嗔痴慢疑二见. This is very definite. Yeah, greed, hatred, delusion, and so on. These are very definite. These are defilements. Yeah, faith, shame, and remorse, and so on. These are very clearly wholesome ones. Yeah, but there are some. Okay, you see, there's a difference. Here is 眠, 悔, and then 眠. 眠 itself, interesting. Here 昏沉, here is 眠. Yeah, indulge. If you indulge, then it becomes a problem. If you don't indulge, so by itself is indeterminate. Okay, but we'll explore more as we go. Okay, 悔眠巡视. Yeah, so this 巡视. 巡视 itself has to do with when you do the practice of meditation, jhana. Okay, yeah. Before you attain jhana, it is what allows you to attain first jhana. But once you attain first jhana, then you must put it aside. If you hold on to it, then it becomes a problem. Yeah. So in that way, it is indeterminate. Yeah. I'm just touch and go here. Don't ask me to explain in detail. When we come to that point, because this whole text is not just 3 pages behind, you see, each of these have one paragraph after paragraph. So this is just to give you an overview. This is this sub-commentary that we are using is in the modern format. So modern format, you see one, then dash, dash, dash like this. In those commentaries or sub-commentaries from 1,000 over years ago, then they will say, let's say, they'll put, yeah, 心所有六, yeah, 略说片形无, and so on and so forth. Then after that, 云何片形, is all words, no sub-classification for you like that. Yeah, so this is the modern format. Yeah, it helps us to read. Yeah. And this is something that I observe. It makes me wonder, because in the early days, before these are written down, wow, how do they remember so much things? How do they remember it? On one hand, we say that we have shorter attention span these days. Yeah, but sometimes we have to wonder, because of that, then our TV programs become shorter. Yeah, very quickly you have advertisement, and advertisement in Hokkien we say, "Kana to sai." Very quick. Yeah. So in school, yeah, these days in many institutions and whether it's lower education or institutions, there's this sometimes a spoken rule, sometimes unspoken rule that after 45 minutes of teaching, then you must give the students a break or have a change of activities. Yeah, and in some cases maybe even shorter. Yeah, but I have a question mark on this. Yeah, because I feel that if we do this, it will only reinforce the short attention span. It will only reinforce that. So I strongly urge you all to take the time. If you find that, wow, all Chinese word, like when you look at this, for me, 16 years ago, 20 years ago, you know what I see? I see grey color. I will just see this as grey color. One whole block of grey color. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of grey color. Yeah, it will just be like that. Yeah. So for some of us, it's okay. You can start reading. Yeah. But if you find that it's a grey color, take a deep breath, sit down, and just read. So, yeah, this is quite easy, ma. So, if you cannot read this, no problem. No one will laugh at you. Sifu will not laugh at you. Maybe your neighbor laugh at you. No problem. Yeah. But if you find that, so then, what is this word? Very cheap. Take a dictionary. You got to put it. You must spend time on. Want to be enlightened so easy. Yeah. So spend the time. I really, really, sincerely urge you. It is worth it. Yeah. You spend that time. It has a spillover effect. Yeah. Not only just for this text. It opens the door for you to read all the wisdom that has been passed down through the Chinese lineage. Yeah. And then at the same time, this ability to have that perseverance will spill over to the other part of your life. Yeah. The tenacity, the ability to stick to it. Yeah. And overcome. Yeah. This will bring you a lot of good. Okay. So, 六位心所, these 6 subcategories of mental concomitants. Yeah. The first of this subcategory, 遍行心所. I quite like the translation from the other text, universally active. Yeah. So that the first category are those that is always active. Yeah. 遍行心所. Meaning that in all the different aspects, this category, they are active. Yeah, they are active. By itself, we can see some meaning in it. But later on, with respect to the others, then it becomes clearer why these are called always active or universally active. It is because the other categories of mental concomitants are not always active. I'll give you one simple example. Just now we mentioned about Tan Chen Si, right? Yeah, the defilements. They are not always active, isn't it? They are not all always active. Maybe some over the other. Yeah? Yeah. Okay? So they are not always active. Okay? Not in the active state anyway. Yeah. But dormant are always dormant. Always there, dormant in the potential as a seed. Okay? Yeah, so, first, 处等5个心所. So this 处等, this is a very simple word, 等. In Singapore, we are very used to it. Wait. Literally means wait. But here is a slightly different meaning, okay? Let me write this so that you can see it clearly. Done. This word is very commonly found in commentaries and in sutras, denoting ... denoting etc. Okay, this is a Chinese version of etc. Okay, etc. Okay, understand? This word. Anybody have difficulties with this word? If you don't understand, you go to 7-Eleven, you go to the provision shop and ask them, I want to buy kia tang. Have y'all heard of have y'all bought before kia tang? Tell them, I want to buy kia tang. What is that? You go to the shop, tell the person, I want to buy kia tang. Yeah, but you cannot go to the provision shop, cannot go to 7-Eleven, they don't sell. You must go to the traditional provision shop. Go there, I want to buy kia tang. Why buy kia tang? Then the person will tell you, okay, you hang on, I go and get it. Kia tang. Stand and wait. No, this is not invented by me. I learned this from my mother and my uncle and auntie. Yeah. Okay, take it easy, okay? Let's not get so excited. I have your attention now. Come, let's go and... okay, so 处等. So here this 处, this is, what is this? 处. Contact. Okay, contact. So this 等, it is referring to this list here. And earlier I already mentioned 处作业受想师. Yeah, so there are 5 in this category. Okay, and here it just say 处等. That means referring to this whole list. Yeah, like contact, etc. Understand? So this contact, etc. These 5 mental concomitants. What happened? 周遍行起于所有8个心识. Yeah, so with respect to the 8 different consciousness, yeah, they are active together with them. Yeah, whenever the 8 consciousness they arise, this 处作业受想师, they come. Hello, they'll come. Okay, can you understand? If you can understand, then I shouldn't give you any more example. Because sometimes I find that at first maybe you understand. Then I give you an example, you become confused. Can you understand or not? Okay? So basically, these 5, they are active together with the first 8 consciousness. Okay? So far so good. Yeah, and because of that, 所以得名为遍行. Yeah. So the sing here, yeah, this sing refers to the first 8 consciousness. Yeah, the first 8 consciousness. Yeah. So 就是凡有心起时不论是哪一个心王升起. Yeah, so regardless of whichever of the 8 consciousness arise, this sequence, these 5, 处 contact, 作意 attention, 受处作意受想思, then sensation or feelings, if you will, yeah, will arise. Then the 处作意受想, then perception will arise. Then 思, so this 思 I must explain a bit later, yeah, because some of these terms is not entirely the same as how we usually understand it. Okay, so but these 5, they would always arise, yeah, regardless of whichever one comes about, it will come. Yeah, so hence acquires this name 遍行心所. Okay, so regardless of whichever ones, it will arise. 这5个心所都必相应升起，因为这5个心所遍行于世一切. Yeah, so more terms, for everything. What is for everything? What is for everything? Yeah, 世一切. I just give you literal, otherwise it becomes confusing. Okay. So what is the for everything? 就是指是一切. Yeah, there is the, when we say 一切, the word 一切, all. Okay? All this, all that. All people. All this, all that. Okay, but here it says there are 4 kinds of all, whereby the 5 mental concomitant, there are these 5 mental concomitant that would always be active together with them. Yeah. So what are they? 是一切就是指一切性, 一切地, 一切时, 一切具. Don't worry, it explains. Yeah. So 一切性, 性就是善恶无记三性. Yeah, the 3 nature. Yeah, whether the mind is in a state or the heart is in a state where it is wholesome, unwholesome, or neither wholesome nor unwholesome. Yeah, these 5 处作业受想思, they arise. Okay, so 性, firstly, nature loosely translated as nature. In all natures, yeah, whether it's wholesome nature, unwholesome nature, neither wholesome nor unwholesome nature, these 5 arise. So 地, bhumi, or stages. Yeah, at the different stages. What stages are there included here? 有寻有师地, 无寻为师地, 无寻无师地. Yeah, so there are different translation for the word 地. Literally, earth, okay, or ground. Okay, earth or ground. In our translation, we have used the word stage. Okay, stage. In some contexts, we use the word foundation. Yeah, depending on the focus that we want. Yeah, but let me explain, then it may be clearer. Okay. 有寻有师地, 无寻为师地, 无寻无师地. So these 3, yeah, these 3 refers to the first jhana, the second in between jhana, and the second jhana itself. Okay? Yeah. So this 有寻有师地. Okay? 有寻有师地, 无寻为师地, 无寻无师地. So these 3 categories, yeah, refers to, firstly, let me just tell you all, this is referring to the jhana. Okay, referring to jhana. Have you all seen this term before, jhana? Anybody have never seen the word jhana before? It's okay. If you don't know, if you never seen before, you better raise your hand. Everybody, one but okay. So the word jhana is what we call chana. Then we Chinese 简称为禅. Yeah. When this practice moved to Korea and then Japan, then this became Zen. Then and this, so this is Nihon, yeah, Zippun, yeah, Zippun. Then when this, so this is China. Then when this moved to 美国. Yeah. Actually, it's wrong. In Japan, it's also written like that. Okay, but they pronounce as this, Zen. Then in US, don't know, Professor Suzuki or somebody, Yeah, there was this one very prominent Buddhist teacher who popularized Zen Buddhism in US. Then this became very popular. Until today, you have, if you go to MPH, one of the most common Buddhist terms you can find is Zen. The Zen of business negotiation, the Zen of cooking, the Zen of everything. Yeah, but a lot of this have nothing to do with meditation. So the word jhana, this is actually Pali. Sanskrit is dhyana. Yeah, dhyana. Yeah, but they refer to the same thing. Okay. Now, in the Chinese lineage that I was trained in the Chinese lineage that we are trained in, there are 4 jhana. Okay, 4 different jhanas. And in the first jhana, there is what we usually translate as applied and sustained thoughts. We have rapture and joy arising from what do you call that? 离生喜乐, arising from we in our text we use the word withdrawal, but some people don't like the word withdrawal. Yeah, I'll explain, okay? Then we have single-pointedness. Have you all learned this before in the first 2 years? First 2 years? Never covered, huh? So some of you may have learned it from other classes, but sometimes do not think that, your first 2 years never cover these topics. But because some of these topics, if you do not follow up with your practice, then it's just knowledge. It's just knowledge. Very interesting to have this knowledge. Then you can have a very nice conversation with people about meditation. But you still cannot meditate. So the Buddha in the teachings, he highlighted that the first jhana, these 4 are all jhana, okay? So these 4 jhana, the first jhana has what we call applied and sustained thought. This applied and sustained thought is basically this thing here. 寻跟视. Yeah. Now, in the different traditions, there's slightly different, how do I put it? Slightly different focus when they highlight these points. Yeah. This 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is given by the Buddha to describe that if you can meditate to the point where by applying your mind, by directing your mind to a certain focus, such as your breath. And for those who have meditated, you will know that sometimes, initially your mind can focus. Sometimes it cannot focus. So you need to put in effort to apply your mind towards the object of meditation. And then after that, to bring your mind there, then hold it there. Hold your mind there. Some days, you seem to just observe and then it just stay there. Doesn't do much. Yeah. Sometimes during one sitting, maybe half an hour, 1 hour, or 1.5 hours, for certain duration of time, your mind can stay with the object. Yeah, in this case, our breath. You can stay there for indefinite duration. But then it would run away. And then you must again apply effort, yeah, to overcome whatever it get distracted with, and then bring it back again. On some days, or on some duration, it just stay there. Yeah. So there are this variation. If your mind can, if you actively use this approach, yeah, overcome all the different mental agitations and distraction, yeah, and then apply it on the mind. Loosely, we can say this set of effort that we put in. Yeah, this can be said to be what we call applied and sustained thoughts. Now, there are other translations given as well, but they are referring to the same process. The difference is some of the translations focus on the activity itself. Others focus on the consequences of those activities. Yeah, this is a common difference we find in many of the translations, whether it's for this section here or other terms. Okay? So, then if you can do this consistently, you may find that over time, it becomes easier and easier. And at some point, you may find yourself, while you are in this state of meditation, your interest, your thoughts for things outside of meditation becomes lesser. Your interest and your preoccupation about the outside world becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. Up to some point, when your mind is somewhat withdrawn from the senses, from the eye, ears, nose, tongue, and the body, yeah, as far as those contacts are concerned, yeah, then the mind would finally be somewhat free of those stimulus, yeah, pulling at our mind. Before we reach that stage, we cannot recall a time where our mind is free of it. Because the only time we are free of it is when you are asleep. And when you are asleep, you are not aware, you are not conscious, so you don't know how it feels like also. Yeah? But finally, when you meditate to the point where the mind is somewhat free, yeah, may not be totally free yet, but somewhat free from the external stimulus, okay, then it experiences a different kind of joy or high, if you will. Many texts translate as rapture and joy. Okay? 喜乐. 寻是喜乐, 心意尽兴. Yeah? This physical and mental high, if you will. Yeah. Later. So this, one is bodily, one is mental. Okay? One is bodily, one is mental. Okay? Rapture is usually described as the physical, very comfortable, yeah, and then joy, the mental aspect of it. Okay? So, then when the mind experiences this, then it is said that then the mind becomes even more focused, yeah, and then we would have developed what we call single pointedness. It may be for 5 seconds, it may be for 5 minutes, yeah. The initial, when you first sort of come close, it just lasts for a while, and then because it's too hard to maintain. Yeah, it's like when you ride bicycle, the first time you get it, hey, I got it. The moment you shout you got it, you lose it. Yeah, but the subsequent moments become longer and longer and longer until the norm is that you can balance. In many ways, that parallels the attainment of jhana. Yeah, initially it's not easy to even come close. Yeah, it's hard to enter. Then you meditate until the point where this happens. Then you call it first jhana. Then it becomes easier and easier and easier. Up to some point, it is said that then it's not easy to come out. At first, hard to go in, easy to come out. Then later it becomes easy to go in, hard to come out. You don't feel like coming out. Yeah. So at a later stage, then you must also practice to come out. Yeah. So before you talk about the later part, the next part is to come out from first jhana and enter second jhana. And that's where this applied and sustained thought must be put aside. Compared to our normal day-to-day, yeah, this is in meditation, okay? Day-to-day. In our day-to-day, there may be some level of single-pointedness when we are very focused on doing things. When we are listening to music, watching movies, television, but some people are also not focused. Yeah, then they watch halfway, then they think about other things, and after, why? Okay, but even when we have single-pointedness or some level of focus, we don't experience this first four. Yeah. We don't experience the first four also. Yeah, why? Because rapture and joy is specific to withdrawal from the senses. It must be due to this, then it's considered the first jhana. Okay? It cannot be that you go for sauna, then you, hey, Sifu, I also experience rapture. And then I'm also very high. Yeah, that is different. Because that is a result of physical stimulus. Yeah, physical stimulation, that doesn't count. Here is the absence of physical stimulation. Okay? So for second jhana, you discard these two. Why? Because for the first jhana, when we are in from our day-to-day, compared to our day-to-day, this is supreme. Compared to our day-to-day, this is very helpful for us to be free from the first five senses. Otherwise, our usual mode is, very busy. Whether we are in a shopping center or not, our mind is always outwards, grasping. Yeah. If we can do this, then we can be freed of the ups and downs related to the first five senses. If you can do this, and you get stuck with this, then it becomes a problem. To move forward, then even this apply and sustain thoughts with respect to second jhana, okay, it is considered to be agitation. It is considered agitation. Yeah. For us here, it is good. But when you reach here, then this is not good. You must drop it. When you drop it, then it becomes what we call 无寻无思. Yeah, no applied nor sustained thoughts. Meaning that once you have developed the mind to the point where it can acquire the object of meditation, then you should work towards not even putting in that effort. Yeah. So it's similar to, not similar. When we learn, let's say, counting of breath. How many of you have tried counting your breath? Yeah. So in this technique, for many people, it seems like the technique is just counting breath. And so some students ask me, so what happens after that? I've been learning this for many years. The Sifu just keep on telling us, count, continue counting, count. And the reason is because as long as you have not progressed to the point where you have some level of mastery over your breath, you must still count. But at some point, when you're able to count the breath without much of your thoughts arising, or the moment it arises, you're able to be aware, capture that, and then come back, and effectively come back. Okay? Until then, you have to count. But once you can do that quite regularly and quite steadily, then the counting becomes an impediment. Initially, it's a tool. At this stage, when you can observe very clearly already, it becomes an impediment. If you continue counting, then it becomes a ceiling. This is just like in swimming, where you use a surfboard to learn how to swim. Initially, it helps you to float. But later on, once you have learned how to swim, you have to throw away the surfboard. You must swim by yourself. So, second jhana, you remove this part. Beyond that, they are all without applied and sustained thought. From second jhana to third jhana, then you drop other things. Yeah, you even drop off rapture, and then later joy. You subsequently just drop until when you reach the fourth jhana, you are only left with single-pointedness and equanimity. Yeah, only left with these factors. There are other secondary factors. But from one jhana to the next jhana, up to all the way to the fourth jhana, those meditative practice or factors that was crucial in the initial stage becomes a hindrance if you want to progress. So at the later stage, those would become discarded. Those would get discarded. Hang on. So when we come back to this part here, Ti. Okay, Ti. You notice that I have covered You Xun You Si Ti. This is just in brief, okay? Because this chapter, You Xun You Si, in the Yogacara Bhumisastra, it took us about 2 years. It took us a while. Or rather, this is a very long chapter in another commentary. I'm just giving you a brief of what this thing is about. Okay? From this, which we can call the first jhana, up to Wu Xun Wu Si Ti. Wu Xun Wu Si Ti usually refer to the second jhana. Okay? Second jhana. So how about this? Wu Xun Wei Si Ti. So no applied, but still have sustained thoughts. This is what we call 中间定, or intermediate jhana. If you talk about numbering, then it will be number 1.5. Okay, 1.5. So in some of the texts, we talk about 4 jhanas. In some texts, we talk about 5 jhanas. Okay, when they talk about 5 jhanas, then they include this in-between stage as one of the jhana. Understand? Okay? Because it's in between 1 and 2. Because typically when we talk about the 4 jhanas, it is omitting this 1.5. It's omitting this number 1.5. Why is it considered not 2.1, not 0.9? Why? Because it really lies between the first and the second jhana. You must first attain the first jhana. For some people, from first jhana to second jhana, they can discard, apply and sustain thought directly. So they just jump straight to second jhana. For some people, they can't do it. So they discard only applied thoughts. Sustained thoughts, they still need it to maintain their jhana. Okay? So for some people, they need to reach the intermediate stage, then go on to the second stage. Understand? Yes. Wu Xun Wei Si ma. The name itself is very descriptive. The challenge is what is Xun Si. Because they clearly say You Xun You Si, Wu Xun Wei Si, Wu Xun Wu Si. So the name itself is very descriptive. The challenge is what is Xun Si. That's why I spent some time explaining to you all what is Xun Si. Yes. Primarily, we talk about the first 5. Because in meditation, the number 6 consciousness is still active. Okay? Why the first 5? The first 5 refers to the bodily senses. Bodily senses. And when we talk about sensual pleasure, it is referring to the pleasure arising from the first 5 senses. Eye, ears, nose, tongue, body. When we talk about what we call 五欲乐, so the Buddha described this like a person holding on to strings with 5 horses. Yeah, as they run off, you get pulled all over the place. Yeah, this refers to the first 5 senses: eye, ears, nose, tongue, body. Yeah, when these 5 senses, all of us have it. Yeah, some of us, our senses not so good. Come into contact with form, sound, smell, taste, touch, then it gives rise to eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, consciousness. The individual trio coming together is called contact. With that contact arises sensations or feelings. And from there arises all kinds of likes, dislike, pleasure, and so on. Excuse me. Yeah. So the 5 chords of sensual pleasure. When we talk about sensual pleasure, yeah, as an obstacle to meditation, is always with reference to the first 5 senses. Oh, okay. Any questions? No. Okay. Moving on. So here. And then? The word joy is an English word. So, so our sister asked, when that she read in some text that they describe, when the Buddha entered into the 4th jhana, he experienced unspeakable joy. Yeah, because the word joy is a English word. Here, when I talk about rapture and joy, this is the most common translation for that experience. Yeah, for that experience. When in some texts, they use bliss. Yeah. So whatever is described for the 4th jhana is not related to this rapture and joy. I'm very clear about that. It's not related. But if sometimes they go and translate as joy, it doesn't mean that it is referring to this. It's very different. Because in the 4th jhana, the meditator would have had transcended pain and pleasure, happiness and sorrow. Yeah, it is transcending these very fundamental physical and mental experiences that the meditator abides in what we call equanimity. So it depends on the translator. Yeah, the Buddha did mention that when a meditator enters jhana, there's a term 现法乐住. Yeah, but that is beyond what we are trying to cover here. Over here, it is saying that these 5 mental concomitants, they arise with respect to many different scenarios. The first scenario is whether it is regardless of the nature, wholesome, unwholesome, neither wholesome nor unwholesome, these 5 arise. The second category, which I am explaining, is the stages or grounds, if you will. Yeah. Here it describes, first of all, 3 different grounds which I've bracketed. Yeah. These 3 grounds refers to the different states of jhana. Yeah, and then 或总说为九地. So if it here it includes 九地, then it is referring to to all the different states, not just the jhanic stage, not just the form jhana. Okay, not just the form jhana. Yeah, in all the different what you call that, meditative states. Yeah, for example, here 九地 refers to the 5 jhana and the 4 concentrations on top. So there are different ways of referring to the same thing. Okay, this part here 有寻有师. Remember these 2 terms, 寻师. Okay, remember these 2 terms, 寻 and 师. Okay, you may want to just put a note there, because later on we will come back to this term. Alright, so here 地 refers to all the different meditative states. 处作为受想师 also arise. Okay, so this is the second category. Third category, 识 即指凡有心事升起时，这5个心所都和心王同一刹那缘尽. Yeah, so this term, another term to explain. Yogacara. Last time there was a senior monk who joked. He said, if you want to start Dhamma classes, pick Yogacara. Can go on forever. So many terms to explain. If you take Madhyamika school, 缘起性空空, okay, 下课. Yeah. So 刹那, this 刹那 if I'm not wrong, is I think the second one, skana. This term refers to a moment. Yeah. In a way, you can say this is in the Buddhist teaching the smallest unit of time. Okay, like a moment. Yeah. Not the kind of where you call Singtel and they say, please hold for a moment. That moment is very long. Yeah. May not be Singtel, any call center, customer service, the moment is variable length. Okay, here it is referring to the smallest unit of time, yeah, or a moment. Yeah, 同一刹那缘尽, that means at the same moment. Yeah, at the same moment. Then 具指片于诸心王恒与8个事俱时升起. Yeah, so in other words, then it is arising together. Arising together. Then what else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 一切时一切具. Okay, 搞定. So after that, then 别境五. Yeah. So here it is explaining the second, the next. 别境五为周遍于三性和九地. Yeah. So here I want you all to just mark out it like that and up to the top. From this point onward, can you all see? Here? Okay, over here. From the start all the way up to this point here, it is explaining the first subcategory. Okay, up to this point. Got it? Everybody got it? Yeah? So far we are explaining the universally active. Okay? Up to this point we are explaining the universally active. The second category, 别境五. Yeah, 别境五. Situation specific. Yeah, depending on the occasion, depending on the subject, if you will. Yeah, then some may arise, some may not arise. Okay, and altogether there are 5. And so 为周遍于三性和九地. So second category, only for 三性和九地. Yeah, so not all together and not so different from the first category. Okay, different from first category. In some instances, they don't arise. Okay, in some instances, they arise. Okay, this is just a brief to give you the mapping. Yeah, later on, as we go through the text, it gives you more details. 然不变于实和句而已. So for the second category, it doesn't apply for 实 and 句. So doesn't arise together with the eight consciousness all together. Yeah. Later when we look at it, it becomes clearer. Okay. 不定式. So subsequently, then there's the four, which is indeterminate. Yeah, indeterminate. So indeterminate. Oh yeah, sorry, I jump. So then 善十一遍于九地，但性十具三义存缺. So this san, that means wholesomeness. Yeah. The various states covered, but some others not covered. Yeah. 不定是为具一切性. Yeah. So wholesome, unwholesome, neither wholesome, unwholesome, all included. But the remaining three not covered. Remaining three not covered. Then these primary defilements and secondary defilements, 四义存无. Yeah, so these four depends, not certain, not inclusive. That means not always like this, not always like that. Okay. Wow. This is why the one to many, many to one, may not be so crucial. Otherwise, because a lot more things to cover here. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. This part here we'll cover later on. We'll cover later. Yeah. Because otherwise I feed you with too much things here, you 消化不良. So let me summarize what we have covered today. We have covered the definition of why mental concomitants are known as mental concomitants. We know that how many categories are there? 6 categories. Yeah, 6 subcategories. And we have gone into some of the categorization, yeah, to say, okay, for the first subcategory, 片形, what does it cover? Then we just in brief look at 别境, what does it cover? Under what circumstances are they included? Yeah, and so on. Yeah, so then you have san, yeah, the wholesome mental concomitants. What are the areas where it is inclusive? Then we look at the 根本烦恼, the 随烦恼, yeah, the primary and secondary defilements. What are the subcategories or areas that they are inclusive? Yeah, this is just in brief. Yeah, then also the 4, which is indeterminate. Yeah. So by now you all can memorize this 6 category. Can memorize or not? No. Go back and memorize. Yeah. You don't have to memorize. Just go through it a few more times. Yeah. You go through it many times. Then you see. Yeah, just labels. The last time I teach this was in 2009, 7 years ago. So this is a revision for me also. Yeah. Okay. So I will see you all next Thursday. Okay. Put our palms together. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛，起立。诸位至诚，礼佛行三问讯礼，一问讯，再问讯，三问讯。Till we meet again, may be guided and protected by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.